first hour. Dealing with the headlines as they come across, but also having a little fun with the folks that are from here as we get cranked up this hour. Real quick, Hueytown Pawn has got the deals for you. Tommy reached out to me right before we got started this week and told me all about this new special that he's running, and this may not even last a week because he's only got 50 of these, and you guys are good about cleaning them out when he puts stuff on sale. But as you know, it's a pawn shop, but they've got an incredible gun counter, and right now he's got these AR-15 pistols in all the three platforms, 5.56, 7.62, and 300 blackout. Got them at $399.99. You're just not going to beat that, right at $400. And it's only while they last. He's only got about 50 in stock, and they will go quickly. So if y'all got time, get over to Hueytown Pawn and get yourself a deal. It is Hueytown Pawn. Got some more guests here on the show. Mike, the owner, is so good about just being our producer and bringing folks to me because I'm kind of stuck right here. And he brought you over. You're his first guest that he brought in, and you're the head chef of the kitchen back there.
Yep. How we doing?
Let me get this mic on. Yeah, there we go. You're hot. Your name's Kelly?
Kelly.
What's your last name, Kelly?
Brainerd.
How long you been in that business?
This business, 23 years.
How long you been here?
25 years.
Yeah.
How long have been here?
Yeah.
Accumulated, 19 years.
It's a long time.
Yeah, I've been here a minute.
It's a special place, isn't it?
It is special.
Yeah.
Yep. We have a lot of history here.
How long have you been doing this prime rib? I was just bragging about that a little while ago. How long have you been doing that?
Me personally, or
Well,
here at the Irma?
restaurant. Yeah.
Probably around 40 years.
40 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What makes it so, I mean, I know it's a huge tourist attraction, and I've loved it every time I've had it. But what's so special about it, how you do it?
We really pick our beef. We pick Choice Plus beef. We're really selective on where we get it from, and also it's just a slow cooking process that we've done for a long time. We know it's a tried and true way of. So,
yeah. So, do you watch those restaurant shows where people are competing and fighting in the kitchen?
Uh-huh.
I always wonder if you're doing a business that's like watching work when you're home. Is that stuff real? Is it tense back there?
It's a little dramatized, but I'd say it's 50% real.
You ever watch a show called The Bear?
Oh yeah,
I love that show.
Yeah, it's a good show.
We just binged the last season of it. Do you have those same commands? Because all that's new to me. I was learning watching that show, where you kind of have orders and a language and a way to move around back there.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, all that, and a lot of that's safety because people are moving so fast. So
yeah,
that's pretty standard in pretty much any restaurant is those things. And
do they say yes, chef? Did they say that?
No,
I'd make them start doing that.
I think that's more of that show. I mean, some places may do that, but saying heard or acknowledging, that's a very normal thing.
That the communication got through to whoever needs to know.
Yeah.
That just looks like chaos. It looks like some people wouldn't want to do what I do, but I couldn't. I'd probably kill somebody the first day back there, and they'd fire me.
It's not for everybody. Yeah, it's chaotic, but it becomes comfort after a while.
What's the turnover like? Because you got a mix of good local folks that come in and out on a regular basis, but you got a lot of tourist turnover. So is lunch hour like super long because of that, because it's tourist town, or how does that work?
Yeah, I mean, lunches will last, 3-4 hours generally, and then in the winter time when it's slow, it's, you have your 12 to 1, and that's when it's busy.
Wrong.
Yeah. And then we have an increase, so, we have about an 800 to 1,000% increase from winter time to summertime, so it's a huge difference.
You ever get celebrities through here? I'm pretty sure you do.
Oh, yeah, we have a lot to come
Who's
through.
the latest one? Tell me a story.
Who is the latest one?
Did they tell you back in the kitchen that, I don't know, Billy Bob Thornton or whoever's out there?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it just doesn't. We don't care. We just.
Somebody told me
we try to treat every customer as if they're important.
That's the best answer. Have you ever thought about politics? Somebody told me that Post Malone came through here or something and bought out the leather shop across the street.
I don't know if that's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably an urban myth.
Yeah, they happen. Yep.
Well, man, I appreciate you spending a few minutes. We're just kind of getting to know the folks that are from here and
absolutely
describing the character of the town. We'll be talking to a lot of these folks through today.
Nice.
And I'm going to come get the prime rib. I couldn't do it today because of the setup. When does that start and end every day, by the way?
Yeah, you want to try it on our buffet at night. It's the best there. I mean,
it's nighttime?
Yeah.
When does it end?
Because at night, by that time, it's been cooking for a lot longer, and it's even better.
Yeah. What time does it end? I'm trying to make the curfew.
8 o'clock.
Okay, I got plenty of time.
8:30. 8:30 usually. Sometimes we close it a little early. Sometimes Right now, we're not closed before 8:30 though.
How many pounds of that stuff would you go through in a day?
A day? Well, we cook 16 pounds. We go through about 14 a day. So 14, 16 pounders about per day.
Just cranking them out.
Cranking them out. And on a busy day, like during the holidays, we're doing about 30 in a day.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, so it's
Cool,
we
man.
move a lot of product.
Well, good to meet you, Kelly.
Absolutely,
Appreciate
you too.
popping
Thank
by.
you.
Yeah, good folks here. And Cody is, we just got, man, AJ, I've never had so many guests lined up to be part of the show. They're so welcoming out here, too. I just can't say enough about the culture. And the folks. All right, we're keeping an eye on this preliminary hearing that's going on with our friends, but our folks out in Provo, Utah. Right now, they've got a forensics examination person that did the crime scene breakdown and analysis and detailing, or whatever the word would be, discussing the cartridges, the particular cartridges that were in the gun that was found, and how they had words etched on them which matched some of the other elements of this guy. My theory is this: they're going to wind up. I think if the prosecution is open to a plea deal in this case, I think the Tyler Robinson attorneys, after all this stuff's now been exposed, they're going to move for that plea deal. What they're hoping for is a Hail Mary in this preliminary, that something will go wrong, something will go amiss, something will not be correct that they can use down the road on some kind of appeal. But this guy needs to cut a plea. I'm just not so sure the prosecutor should do it. The case is too solid. The public has a demand that the ultimate punishment be meted out to this little thug. And I think I want him to go through with the whole thing. Not to mention, I think the public deserves to see even the evidence that's not going to be presented in this preliminary. They won't put it all on the table. A lot of it, a lot more than we've ever seen in a preliminary type case. But that stuff is still live, wall to wall today. Dramatic testimony. We're bombing Iran again for the third day. That's another headline. Any other updates on that, we'll have them for you too. We got another guest that's just stepped right up. Tell me your name.
Abigail.
Abigail, what do you do here, Abigail?
I'm a waitress.
All right. You have to put up with T-Money?
I sure do.
How hard is that?
It's brutal, man.
No
joke.
She came over here and barged in on the show. So
I'm sure she did.
I have to make sure she doesn't say any words that we can't do on an FCC station. You got to watch T-Money.
She's crazy.
And I think she has a crush on AJ, my producer back in Birmingham. She always gives him a shout out. You ever
She
notice
might.
that, AJ? I think she's throwing you too much love. So tell me, what's it like working here? You're young. How old are you?
I'm 20.
Good Lord, you're a baby.
I'm a baby.
How long you been working at the Irma?
This is my second summer.
Okay.
Yeah, so-
are you just working in the summer here? Or?
Yeah, I do summer. I waitress last summer, and then I was in the gift shop all winter.
Okay.
So
Are you from here?
I'm from Montana originally.
Okay.
Yep.
What brought you to Cody?
College in Powell.
Okay.
And then I love the area, so
Yeah.
sticking around.
Think you're just going to hang here?
Probably.
All right.
I have to finish school, so I'll go to Casper, but then I'll probably come back.
Good for you.
Yeah.
What's the work like? I mean, waitressing is not easy nowadays.
No, not at all.
Do you deal with some buttholes? I bet you deal with some buttholes.
Yeah, there's some pretty mean ones.
And did you have to learn how to handle that, or did you just, how do you deal with it? That's why I was telling your chef I could never work in the kitchen. I could also never wait tables. I'd pour a drink on somebody the first day. I'd be fired. I couldn't be a cop, couldn't be a teacher, couldn't be a waitress, can't do it.
No, it's pretty difficult. I think like the first time I waited tables, it was like a shock the way that some people spoke to me. But like now I've just gotten used to it, and there's a lot of like really great people. So the really great people, like, they make it all worth it for sure.
Can you tell, as soon as you walk up, can you tell a tourist from a local as soon as you walk to a table?
Yeah.
Can you tell me how you can tell?
I think it kind of is, I don't know.
Is it an attitude, or that they're wearing all the fake cowboy stuff?
A little bit of both, especially if they're like looking around, kind of taking it all in. That's kind of when I know too, because the regulars, like, they've been in here, they know what's up.
Yeah.
People that ask lots of questions too are usually tourists.
Oh, yeah,
If they
you try
ask
to
what
orient.
Rocky Mountain oysters are,
Oh,
dead
see, that's a
giveaway.
dead giveaway.
Dead giveaway.
Y'all ever play any pranks on them? You can't admit that. Never mind. I can't ask you that question.
Nope.
No, not
Nope.
at all. Well, I appreciate you popping by.
Yeah,
See you.
thank you.
Go make that money.
I will.
AJ, I was in a boot store before I came in here. I just walked across the street. There's so many cool. By the way, I do have a story from our audience member that let me know about the guy from Alabama that works across the road in the custom cowboy shop. And he told us about this, and I forgot. I had bought some stuff in there years ago. It's a cool store if you ever come to Cody. And a guy named Gary Race from Alabama moved out here, and he's one of the best saddle makers and leather makers from anywhere around. And so I went to specifically look for him because I needed a belt today. Well, he wasn't downstairs, but I got to see his shop. I went in there and looked around. The lady said I could go down. I love the smell of leather anyway, and this guy's down there, all the stuff he's doing, making saddles and all this stuff. So I'm hoping that if I can talk him into it, to get Gary to come across the road before we get out of here this afternoon so we can talk to a fellow Alabamian that decided to take up shop here in the beautiful town of Cody. We got another guest up here with a very serious cowboy mustache.
Hi,
What's your name?
I'm Dar.
Did we meet before? You seem familiar to me.
A while back, yeah.
Okay. Tell me what you do here, Dar.
I'm the sales director.
Okay.
Yeah, I
All
do
right.
all the events and
Yeah.
put all that stuff together.
What kind of events do you do here?
Oh, we do so many different things,
Yeah.
inside and outside. Yeah,
A lot of cater. Do you cater as well?
we cater. We cater year round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weddings, and do people do weddings?
Absolutely, weddings, parties.
Yeah.
We've even done a few funerals. So
I was just about to ask. Because people eat at funerals. In the South, we gather after the funeral and
Yeah.
feast. I guess that
Yeah.
people do that out here too.
absolutely, we do a lot in the governor's room. That's our
Yeah.
our big
That's
room.
right. There's a big private room back there.
Right. That's it would, most turns to be your banquet room and all
Yeah.
that. But we do a lot of that.
Great history. Tell me, and I'm Michael. Tell me a little bit of stuff. Tell me. I'm gonna put a shot up of the inside of the restaurant. It's just such a beautiful building, and the architecture and all the history that's associated with it. Tell me a little bit about this place.
Oh, geez. I don't know if I can do any better than Michael. I'm sure, as you know, it was built in 1902. Well, that main area right there, that used to be the pool room and bar only.
And I'm vague on it, but there's some special story about where that bar came from.
Yes, that's a Cherrywood bar. Queen Victoria gave it to Buffalo Bill, and in 1900 she sent the bar and 2 craftsmen over with it, and they had it put together by 1902 for the opening.
So it was specifically put here all along.
Oh yeah.
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 And it is something. The camera. I'm trying to zoom into it a little bit more, but the camera really does not do that thing justice. When you walk in, it's such an impressive. And isn't there like a bullet hole or something in the ceiling or something?
Yeah, up at the crest on the top, there's
Yeah.
a bullet hole, and then there's a few others behind it. There's actually bullet holes. History-wise, there's a lot of bullet holes
Yeah.
in here.
I saw. Was it you guys that had the 4th of July parade and somebody rode a buffalo down the street?
We
think
had
that-
the buffalo in here
Yeah.
that morning of July 4th.
And he came in here, right?
Oh, yeah, he was right in where that picture is.
Mike, tell me that when I first got here, he said we had a buffalo in the bar right here.
Absolutely.
Walked him right into the bar.
Yeah,
Now people have ridden their horses in here too, right?
yeah, there's been people on horses in here as well.
Do you just let them do it, or you kick them out? What do you?
It's not something we advertise. It's it's just happened. But it goes along with the character of the establishment.
Well, man, good to meet you, and let me know if there's anything we can do for you this afternoon. while we
Sounds great. I appreciate it. And thanks for having me
Thank
on.
you, buddy. Talking about the world out here this afternoon, AJ, as we're again at the Irma in Cody, Wyoming, just having a good time and introducing y'all to some locals. Tapco, let's talk about them for a minute. I'll always remember how Michael down at Tapco just kind of, in a way, he really did save this trip. I was scrambling around. I had, when you're going to be gone like this, you got to button up your home. We got construction going on, so there was so much prep work to do to get all that going. And then it was the vehicles. I mean, so with the RV, I trusted Appalachian Foothills to get all the things that were wrong and needed to be checked on that. But the Jeep that we tow and bring with us, by the way, I think I have a shot of that out there. A second ago, I was looking at one of these shots. You can see my little Jeep in the shot. But, yeah, you could see it in that shot. But out there on the street. And, it's one of those things where I just did not want to have a breakdown. I can't afford it, especially the broadcast weeks. We got to move from town to town as efficiently as possible and then use the Jeep to haul all this equipment and get set up every day for y'all. So that thing's essential. And sure enough, it had some bearing leak issues and some other detailed things that I would not have caught. I'm not sophisticated enough to have seen that. So they did the brakes, they did the oil, and they took care of that. and took care of all those things. And that Jeep was tip top, and it's running like a champ this whole trip. And I've got Michael to thank for that. It is good to have a trusted service technician and mechanic in your life. We all know that. Growing up, we used to be able to tinker. I could work with my pawpaw on all the vehicles in the family. He'd sit out. He was always messing with something, a literal shade tree guy. But you can't do that anymore. They're too sophisticated, too many computers and all this sophisticated technology. You got to have the right diagnostic equipment nowadays just to chase the ghost in the system. But they can do that for you, of course, at Tapco. They're downtown Birmingham on 6th Avenue South, not far from our friends over at Birmingham Broker, and then over at Iron City in that general area of the south side of Birmingham. Michael's got a professional shop, some of the best techs in the state of Alabama, and they're so good about just treating you right, being straightforward on their pricing, on their diagnosis, even giving you a courtesy ride if it's something they can fix that day for you and get you back on the road, which they did for me. I brought that thing in first thing in the morning. They had it back to me before the radio show was over, and then I was off on the trip. So I appreciate Michael. It's good to have once you just do your routine service with them. By the way, they'll give you a 10% discount if you drop my name. So go by and get your oil changes and your regular stuff. And then if something gets weird, because it will happen especially as your vehicles age, you start hearing a rattle or see a light come on or some mysterious noise or something ain't right, then you got a relationship and you're on the client list down at Tapco. TAPCO. You can get them online and by the way, get that 10%. Tell them you heard it here on the show. TAPCO, tapcobeham.com, tapcobeham.com. Back here in just a little bit. Stay tuned. All right, y'all, 327, Leland Live, talking to M5. My good man, John Lanius, and, of course, Reggie and that whole team over at Lanius Furniture Company ready to sell you some beautiful stuff. They've been there for 92 years, and the story has really been the same, and that's why they've been successful. That's why you can last that long. You just treat people right. Go out and get the best stuff. You got to buy it in bulk so you're going to get good deals so you can sell it right, and that's what they do. And if you're going to buy it in bulk, you better have a big warehousing operation and a big showroom, which they do. They've got it down to a science. They bring in the best furniture from the best manufacturers all over the world, mostly American-made stuff, and they put that stuff through their system and get it all indexed. That means not only when you walk in the showroom will you see an acre, a little bit less than an acre, but I'll round off a little bit, about an acre of furniture under one roof. Then there's the warehouse operation, where if they don't have exactly what you want, it may be back, quote, in the back. They can put their hands on it quickly. That's exactly how I got 2 chairs from them. The ones I looked at, I loved them. I sat in them and I went, man, I need 2 of these, not one of these. He had one on the floor. It was baby blue. And I said, I need like an off-white. I need something more neutral. Sure enough, he had 4. I needed 2. They brought them right to me. It was wonderful. Years before that, I got custom furniture. My boys are huge. They're all 6'5". I wanted oversized couches, a super long dining room table so I could fit my family around it one day if they ever all come home at the same time. And they did it for me. John ordered it. They can custom order for you. They got a whole section of Bassett, a well-known, respected name in the industry over there. I call it a Build-A-Bear. Reggie described it that way one time, where you can just assemble it yourself. Pick out the arms, the legs, the feet, the fabric, the number of sections. You want 2, you want 3. They've got that for you, and that ability to get it just like you want it and have it brought in. It is a full-service, wonderful store, wonderful experience. Some of the best people in the business, kind, smart, helpful, or not. If you don't need any help, they'll leave you alone. I love that. It is, of course, right off exit 280 on I-65. It is LaniusFurnitureCompany.com, L-A-U-N-I-U-S, LaniusFurniture.com. Y'all go see them. You can look them up online, but I say go see them. All right, as we look around the beautiful Irma Hotel in downtown Cody, I'm hanging out in the bar, just drinking water right now. As we got a couple more hours to go on the show, and we've got more headlines and some kooky stuff in the news, which we'll get to here in just a minute. So y'all hang in there for that. And we'll go to the phones too, 545-9950. Leland Live, talking at M5. Y'all stay tuned. Thank you. Sorry, I was giving Brenda a thank you, AJ. She brought me some water. She's so sweet. But she could also pull a gun on me any minute. I never know. You got to watch them out here. I'm going to try to get her to talk to us a little bit. Live in Cody, Wyoming. There we are on the outside. Here we are on the inside. And then here we are hanging out in the saloon in the bar area while folks are just refreshing themselves this afternoon. Beautiful weather out here today. It's in the 80s. How's it looking back home, AJ? I think the rain chances went down today, too. Not quite as soggy as it has been. I even saw some days in the future forecast for around Birmingham where it may not get into the 90s for a couple of days. That would be a little bit of a break, would it not? I reckon it would be. Okay, all right, let's talk about Storm Restoration Roofing. That is Greg Nelson and that whole team of his ready to come get on that roof. If you've been dealing with this inundating rain and all of the punishing weather that our roofs deal with, you know, they are what's between us and that weather. It's the roof. We always talk about having a roof over our heads and being grateful for that. Well, that roof has to not leak, has to be in good shape, and from time to time you'll run into issues with it. So y'all just let Greg or one of his crew come out and give you an assessment of what you're dealing with. If it's time for a full replacement, they've got finance companies that can get that squared away from you for you. And then, of course, if it's an emergency, there's just nobody better than Greg Nelson and Storm Restoration at working with all these insurance adjusters. Look, these adjusters are good guys, but they're looking out for every detail in your contract. And if you don't file a proper claim, some of these fly-by-night roofers will try to get you to file a claim. Maybe they'll hit the jackpot, and it may just be bogus. And if it is, your whole policy can become threatened. I'm just warning you. I've heard stories like that where you don't want to start becoming one of those claim filing people if it's not legit. Greg and his team can assess that for you. They know what's required. They know what the companies want, what order, what needs to be presented. Then you can make your best case for getting coverage. And if you need help with the big deductibles that come with that, they can help you with that too. It's Storm Restoration Roofing. Greg Nelson and the whole team over there, Storm Restoration Roofing. Now I'm going to give you a phone number. I'm giving you a minute to get ready to jot this down because Greg works on a phone number, and that's how they do things. And here we go. You should tuck this away, even if you're not interested in a roof job right now. You could be before you know it. 205-542-3531. 205-542-3531. Storm Restoration Roofing. Okay, let's deal with the Coach Tuberville story today. It's a minor story, but a story nonetheless as we head toward the governor's race. Coach, the Democrats are taking another bite at the apple of the residency requirements for Coach. And so, of course, they filed a lawsuit claiming he's not really a resident. And that case got tossed. Somebody on 1819 said that it got sacked for a loss. Either way, the court basically threw it out over a jurisdictional issue. They didn't really throw it out on any merits. That the case has not gotten that far. They're just saying they weren't the court to listen to it. And now I think that gives the opportunity for because they did throw the case out, but that's appealable. And most likely the litigants will take this to the Alabama Supreme Court, where most likely it's going to get canned again. So it's become mostly a moot issue, but it's a Hail Mary that the Doug Jones team wants to try to, that's another football pun, that they want to try to throw just to see if they can come up with an anomaly and give Jones a chance in a state where the Democrats have lost their damn minds and don't have a shot at winning anything statewide. What else do we have for you this afternoon? Oh, the penis story. Man, I hate to even bring this up because it makes me hurt. Have you heard about this one, AJ? This dude in Indiana cut off his twanger and then set it on fire. He cut it off, and that wasn't enough. He set it on fire. And I'm just thinking to myself, how would he have the presence of mind after cutting it off to gather himself to go ahead and light a fire?
Right.
I'd be in so much pain. I mean, I guess you got to be nuts anyway. Probably just like set it on fire, AJ. We've heard of people try. Lorena Bobbitt cut her husband's off, but did he bring some gas or something? Was he prepared for? Or was it already flammable? Did he have a disease? I don't know. He just set it on fire. He just
maybe he thought it was like a bottle rocket or something. I don't know.
He missed the 4th of July.
Right.
He was looking around for something. He's like, I know I can set my rocket on fire. They called 911. 911, my penis is on fire. It's like, well, just go get a shot. I mean, good Lord. There's always something like that in the news. Yesterday it was the dude that jumped out of the plane, the flight instructor that just jumped out of the plane and told his student pilot that they knew what to do and killed themselves. Just people are crazy, man. Just completely crazy. Here's another anomaly story. I know the two biggies are the third day of bombing in Iran and then this Tyler Robinson trial that's going on right now. But there's another story that just kind of chaps my hide, and suddenly we're all a little bit invested in the World Cup because our country's on display, and that's been wonderful. The U.S. men's team did a great job. They got to the usual stopping point, made it to the last 16, and then biffed it the other night. Just biffed it. That's the only game I watched too. Maybe I was the one. I'm probably bad luck. I don't know. So they just didn't play well in that last game, but did well before that. Now, they made some money, and the way that league works it is based on how far they got into the World Cup. There's this big bonus structure that I understand is tens of millions of dollars. I think I read it was 16 million or something like that. But here's the part that ought to chap your hide. They have to share that 50-50 with the women's U.S. team. The women's U.S. team doesn't even go until next year, I think. Is there a women's World Cup? I don't know anything. I barely know how soccer works. So, this proportionality thing, it was after a big showdown, and it's similar. They're getting the men to subsidize the women's teams. Now, honestly, that's not unusual. In a lot of college football campuses, especially in the Southeast, college men's football subsidizes all the other sports, particularly not necessarily basketball, but football takes care of all the sports, and particularly the women's sports that don't have much attendance or much of a following. Every now and then you'll get a women's basketball team to get on fire, but it still doesn't make a profit, and it still costs a lot of money to run those franchises at the college level, but they do spread the love in the colleges that way. Now, some of that's because of Title IX, which means colleges have to present equal opportunities to women's teams as they do the men's teams, and in order to provide those opportunities, they got to have money, and where are they going to get the money from the overall athletic program? So not knowing how Major League Soccer works or where all that money splitting goes, the gals will get half of the guys' cut. My question is, will the guys get half of the girls' cut if the girls go a long way or get some actual revenue coming in? I mean, when the women's team makes that $500 that they're going to make this year, will they split it with the men? It's just questions. I don't know. Again, I'm new to all this stuff. But that was in the news too. And then here's another little weird statistic. I'm trying to shove all this in before the phones fire up, before we get another round of guests through here. This is just not surprising, but I would almost say alarming, but understandable in some ways. It's a crazy statistic. Right now in this country, 50% of the adults under 30, that would basically be people in their 20s and under, 50% of them live with their parents in the United States. That is up from, I think, 37% or something like that back in 2019. So let's break that down for a little bit. Now, when you just say under 30, well, naturally, half of them are going to be kids that should be home anyway. They're under 18, and they're still going through their schooling. And we understand that sometimes college kids don't take up permanent residency anywhere, or kids that college age that don't go to college need a little more time to get on their feet. And I think it's a combination of choices that generation's making not to become adults as early, to go out and get on their feet, or to start families, or to do things where you need a place. And it's also the economy. We've driven the cost of housing to where it's beyond reach of people that age. It just is. And there are plenty of statistics that back that up. And we did that through government inflation. And while I'm on that rant, just to talk about it for a minute, understand that most all inflation, these are just, I'll put it in the most basic form. Most all inflation that happens is because of the government. They cause inflation. Producers do not cause inflation. Consumers do not cause inflation. Inflation is caused by the artificial interference of governments with their taxes, their regulation, and their money printing. And when you talk about money printing, that absolutely causes it, because they put fake dollars into the system every time they want to, and what causes that? They're spending. So here's the sequence. the government wants to spend more money than it has, so it fires up a printing machine. And for every extra dollar that they add to the economy, that doesn't mean that dollar's worth a dollar. If the more dollars you have, the less each dollar's worth. There are more dollars than there is value. So you've devalued the dollar by printing this money through the Fed, through the borrowing, through the debt. So they keep running up debt. They keep blowing money on stuff that doesn't work, and that's a tax. Let me just get to the bottom line. Inflation is a tax caused by the government, imposed on us through our spending ourselves and the things that we have to buy. And it really ramped up during the Biden administration. We go back to the 2019 number. It shot through the roof. These kids having to live at home. They can't get launched because several things. The rampant spending under Biden, all that stupid stuff. What did they call it? The deficit reduction, something where they just blew money, the green energy stuff. And then, of course, inviting in millions of people that aren't our fellow Americans, that all of which are on the dole because they have no skills, they have nothing to offer, they shouldn't be in this country. And what does our government do to keep them here? Give them housing, give them deals on housing, give them a shortcut to loan borrowing and grants and subsidies all over the place, thus flooding the economy with those dollars and propping these people up and crowding out the residential housing market. All of it, the buyers, the sales market, and of course the rental market. And then you combine all that stuff together, and they inflated the average home value up 30% by doing that, by flooding these people in here, subsidizing these people, wrecking these communities, bringing all the crime and mayhem that comes with it, and then screwing over the young Americans who are just trying to get on their feet. Black, white, young, old, southern, northern, western. Doesn't matter about any of those things. If you're under 30, you don't have the same opportunity and reach to get into your own home as generations before you did because of the government. It all goes back to the government. It's just bad policy, and most people won't take the time to try to understand this or kick these bastards out. But you heard it here, and that's why that statistic is there, and it's a bad trend. The best thing in the world we need, if you're going to have freedom, you're going to have opportunities to exercise that freedom in a country like ours, and you got to take responsibility for yourself. Those two things come hand in hand, and the statistics are looking terrible on that. But the good news is a lot of those economic trends are getting turned around, and I think these kids, given some time, will get some wage growth and be able to afford those prices. There has been a downtick in some markets in housing prices because things are starting to equalize, and it's going to take a minute. It'll probably take as long as least as Trump is in office just to take care of that problem. All right, a little bit of economic rant, just shoving all I can in there. As we take a look around inside the Irma, you can tell the lunch crowd's just about dissipated out of here. As we're hanging out with all these cool folks over here in the saloon, 545-9950. If you want to get on the radio, get on the radio with me. I think the mayor's coming by here in just a little bit, too. Mike's rounded up some folks from the city officials and good folks from the beautiful little town of Cody, Wyoming. We'll be back here in just a minute. Before we go, let me tell you about Work Trucks, TRUX, WorkTrucksLLC.com. If you need a truck, whether it's a flatbed or a pickup truck or a van or a box truck or any of these things to get it done, we're all out there trying to get it done. You got to watch every penny. Don't go buy brand new. It's going to cost you more, and it's going to depreciate quicker when it's brand new. They've got trucks that are like new, low miles, been gone through, 125 points all over that lot at Work Trucks, and they're ready to get you fixed up. Every configuration you can imagine for business. These are get-it-done, commercial-based business trucks. Bubba and his team do a great job finding these, the best in the country, bringing them to Birmingham, vetting them, getting them on the lot, getting you financed, getting warranties for you if you need it. It's a way to not chase your tail. You're too busy trying to get revenue in the door, and whatever your real job is and whatever your real business is, you don't have time to be your own fleet manager. Let them do it for you at Work Trucks. TRUX, WorkTrucksLLC.com, WorkTrucksLLC.com. Live back here in Cody, Wyoming in just a minute from the Irma. Stay tuned.
these.
Yeah, just you can want to, sure, yeah. Just back in here, Michelson Laser Vision. I like to think they're a co-sponsor of the trip too, because I can see all this beautiful landscape and all this stuff that God made out here in the American West. Because I got LASIK 7 years ago, and I'm just telling all my friends. I tell you all every day about them, but I tell all my friends about how miraculous that procedure was and what it did for me to get rid of glasses and contacts and just be able to see with my own naked eyes. If I ever needed to upgrade and do it again just because of age, I would absolutely go back. It was an easy procedure. And Dr. Michelson is just a pure pioneer and a legend in Alabama, brought the first laser to Alabama. And to this day, I don't think there's anybody anywhere in the Southeast that has this, is up to date with their technology as they are at Michelson. Then, of course, Dr. Jennifer, Dr. Mark's daughter, she just grew up in this world. This is all she knows, all she ever wanted to do. She's become an outstanding surgeon herself. I love a second-generation business or practice here in America. It's Michelson Laser Vision. Y'all reach out to them. They're downtown UAB Highlands, MichelsonLaserVision.com. All right, back here live in the Irma in Cody, Wyoming. We got a guest that talking to all kind of folks from around here. And you've got a great story. Brian, let me bring Brian into the show. Brian, let me make sure I can hear you. Thanks for stopping by, man.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Tell me your story. You were telling me how you moved here.
Yes, I in southern Kansas, went to school and had a business in Omaha, Nebraska, which is still going. I was there for almost 40 years.
Yeah.
And we moved out here just west of Cody 5 years ago, and we're loving it. I mean, it's, there's some things that you have to get used to coming from a metro of 1 million people to a town of 10,000 and a county of 28,000, but it's been worth the trade-off for sure.
Tell me what made you want to do that?
Well, my brother and I had a little business doing loans on small farms and ranches, and we had one that was kind of troubled.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because my brother's wife was had recently retired as president of BG Maxia in New York City.
Oh, wow.
So they went from
That's a big transition.
Yeah, they went from 84th and Riverside Drive to a ranch on the Nowood River 9 miles outside of Manderson, population 120.
120.
So that was a big adjustment, but they enjoyed it too.
And you just, did you fall in love or just decide this needs to be home? Or
Well,
wanted a cow? What's the deal?
Actually, when we were living in Omaha, my oldest son went to the University of Wyoming in Laramie, and he was on their shotgun team there, and he got his undergrad degree and was down in Mexico for a while. And the really neat thing about it is, normally when you're an aging parent or grandparent, sometimes you move to where your grandkids might be.
Think about that all the time.
We're doing the exact opposite. So we moved here. Both of our boys came up from Colorado. They're married. They're both going to have babies here.
They followed you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the next couple months, we'll have our first 2 grandchildren. We're pretty excited about it.
It's an amazing change in life. I got 5 of them now, and it'll change the way you see the world.
Yes, sir.
I heard I think it was my pastor the other day said, if you don't like your kids, don't get frustrated with them. Better ones are coming along.
Exactly.
So you wind up being the epicenter for them to come. Is it just the land, the beauty, the people? What made them want to come here too?
Yeah, they've always been kind of outdoor boys. They love fishing and hunting, and that's a big part of the culture out here.
Yeah.
And a little bit of it's political, of course, coming from Colorado to
I can
Wyoming.
understand that. They're all on the wacky weed over there.
Yep.
We came through Colorado and beautiful people, but it's like California in the mountains now. It's very California, and you know what I mean, in that way.
It's getting bad, and it's very congested. I mean, you used to be able to go from the west end of Denver up to Summit County to ski in about 2.5 hours. Now it's like 5 hours. People get up at 3 in the morning to try to get there when
just to commute.
lift's open. So that's the nice thing. One of the nice things about Cody, of course, is there's a lot less traffic, a lot less hassle. It's kind of funny though because we're in tourist season, right? So the longtime locals think it's a traffic jam when there's 6 cars backed up at the light.
They get pissed off. It's not a tractor or a buffalo on the loose. It's actual traffic.
For sure.
How is it being this is a tourist town, but it's a legitimate town where, some of these people sitting around the bar are people that live here too, and I love that mix.
Yes, for sure.
I hate going to a place and I feel like I'm there's nothing but us tourists, you know.
It goes from, you know, fourth and fifth generation ranchers from, you know, the early 1900s to people that have decided, you know, this is where they want to kind of live the fourth quarter of their lives, which is my case.
That would be I mean, I think about it every time I'm out here. I'm like, how could I pull this off?
Yeah, right, exactly.
It's just I just don't know if I can handle the winters.
You know, it's interesting because the Omaha people are like, how are you going to handle those winters out there? But we're kind of a Denver elevation.
Yeah.
We got a lot of sunny days. The weather itself is actually better because we have less humidity than Omaha. When it was 25 degrees there, it's down to your bones. Whereas here, you might even be able to get away without a jacket. And I think now I will tell you the wind.
Yeah, the wind. I was
There
dealing
was
with
a
that.
lot of wind.
I was outdoor with the show yesterday by the rodeo, and it was blowing us all over the place. I couldn't keep my cowboy hat on. It was crazy.
Yes, sir.
Well, man, look, thanks for just spending a little bit of time. I probably want to probe your brain later on how you made the transition because I think that's fascinating.
Okay, Leland, it's great to meet you and enjoy your time in Cody.
Thanks, man. Such
All right.
nice people out here. Y'all, that's what we're about, man, just getting to know these folks. Y'all hang in here with us a couple more hours here in Cody, Wyoming. I'll put you back out in the restaurant, then we'll go back out onto the street, taking a look around this wonderful, beautiful little place in the world. Get out here sometime. If you ever take a notion, just hop in the car and get a gas card and head on. You'll enjoy yourself. We'll be back here in just a minute, 545-9950 if you want to get on the radio. We'll be taking the phone calls and doing the headlines. This is what we do. More interviews coming up, too. Leland Live. Y'all stay tuned.